right, so let's move on to Putin. And then I'm going to go for France a little bit because Macron has a bit to say, the little peacock. And then UK. So Putin. I remember the last time I read on him, he's very sick. It's not that way in Canada or most SC. Putin. Okay, let's read on him really quickly. Because I know there are a couple of Romanians who watch me and they're really concerned about their country as well. So Vladimir Putin, isn't he supposed to be a Libra as well? If we believe his birthday. Putin. Zodiac. Yeah, he's supposed to be a Libra too. Okay, so Vladimir Putin, what's going on with you, buddy? Putin, what's going on with Putin? Wow. Look at him. Didn't I tell y'all Russia, economy-wise, doing fine. Doing fine. I mean, even within this war, he feels like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I feel like he's gonna have like a few disappointing news about this war. So maybe he loses a little bit of ground or something to that effect, or whatever conversations he's having with Trump, he doesn't get exactly what he wants. But it does feel like he's okay. He's okay. He's been having many conversations. He's not doing as poorly as people want him to do. Russia's not doing poorly. They're not. He may have some negative news. Is this within Russia? Within Russia. Yeah, it's within Russia. Spirit is saying he's a Libra. He is a Libra. I remember when Bush called him Pootie. he's a Libra. Yeah, he's doing fine, guys. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Let's ask, how do you feel about Trump? Let's ask the hard-hitting questions. Putin, and the last time I read on Putin, when Trump was in office the first time, he couldn't stand Trump. So Vladimir, how do you feel about Trump? It's a very up and down relationship. At times, like, he's very chummy with Trump. And then other times, Trump does something that destabilizes him. So this is the chummy energy I'm getting. And then it's just like, the fuck is he doing? Like, what is he freaking doing? Right? It's kind of similar to JD Vance. And then their relationship is fine. And then there's some worries a little bit. And then it's fine again. So they have a very up and down relationship. Oh, I asked him, did you help Trump win this election? And he's just like, no, I didn't. He's saying, no, I didn't. And actually it feels like at that time, like, he's sort of like, I don't think he was conflicted about Trump winning. Because he's just like, okay, well, maybe I can get some things out of him if he wins, but for the most part, I know that we're just gonna fight, so I don't want him to win. And I asked him specifically, did you want Trump to win? He wanted Kamala to win. So when he said that thing, I don't know if you guys remember that, when he's like, people thought that he was being sarcastic or that he was doing reverse psychology when he said it, but he said something like, oh no, I'd rather have like Trump win, whatever, or Kamala to win. No, he actually did want Kamala to win. He actually did want her to win. By the way, JD sold his home a week for $1 million more than he got it 2 years ago. Oh, good for him. Give me some of that money. Yeah, no. He's saying I did not help Trump win. I didn't help him win. And he actually preferred for Kamala to be in there. Why did you prefer Kamala to be president? I can hear him laughing. Because he's just like, he's like, he felt that he would get more of his way if Kamala was in. He would get more of his way if Kamala was in. And like and also he's saying that if she was there, he wouldn't have to worry as much. Because I feel like with him and Trump, they get along, but then Trump, he's just like, he's fucking erratic, man. And he'll tell people he's going to do something, but then he says it for a specific reason that he doesn't disclose. And then he makes this surprise move to keep people destabilized. And then Putin is just like, what the F, man? Like, what are you doing? The feeling I'm getting from Putin, it reminds me of JD Vance, where they're just like, what are you doing, dude? They get along, but it's not, they're not best buds. They're not best buds. Am I getting that right, Vladimir? Yeah. He wants a stronger Russian economy as well. He wants a stronger economy as well. Yeah, no, they're not, you know, they're not best friends like, you know, certain medias want you to think. And he's saying strongly, I did not help him win. What's going on with you and Zelensky? What's going on with Putin and Zelensky? He actually does want peace. He actually does want to deal directly with Zelensky. They've had talks before, but the talks have been put on hold. The talks have been put on hold. He actually does want peace, and I feel like he's offered it a few times. And Zelensky was sort of like, nah, you know. Oh, wait, no, how does it? Nah. Zelensky's just like, no, not really interested. Will there be peace for Ukraine? I heard no, guys. I heard no. Okay. Will there be peace? Will the war between Russia and Ukraine end? That's a better question. Will the war between Russia and Ukraine end? Eventually. Eventually. It's gonna be hell getting there. It is going to be hell getting there. Look at this. Because it feels like there is going to be discussion for a long time, and then something else pops off, and then things calm down, and then eventually they get to a peace. They get to a peace. But when I asked about the peace question, I asked no, but peace is a really big word because it could be that, you know, they sign a peace deal with Russia, but then they're basically US bitches and US doesn't give them any peace. You were just saying eventually. Okay, yeah, so they are saying eventually. So I asked, will the war in Ukraine end? And they're saying that no, there's still a ways to go. There's still a ways to go. And again, this energy is usually like 9 months to about a year. So it could last for that long. But eventually they get there. It gets there. And it even feels like there are going to be multiple breaks in the peace talks. I remember saying this last year after Trump won, that the Ukraine stuff, that they especially JD Vance, they do want peace in Ukraine, but it's going to take them much longer than they anticipate. Way longer than they anticipate. Does Putin want to reconstruct the Soviet Union? No. No, it's not exactly it. No, he actually wants peace, guys. He wants to make sure that his government remains strong. He sees these people as like brothers, sisters. He doesn't actually want the Soviet Union to be to be reconstructed or anything. I've never gotten that from him. And it actually does feel like he's upset about the war, the fighting, the death that's happening, because he's just like, no, these are my siblings, these are my countrymen. So I don't really see him trying to invade other places. But let me ask. Let me ask for Romania specifically, because I have Romanian viewers. No, I don't see him invading Romania. I see him, though. He's been attempting to work with politicians in Romania. He's attempted to work with politicians in Romania to not to the best success, but eventually he's going to get there. I don't really see it, because like the way he's thinking is that these are my family members. I don't want to fight my family members unless I have to. Okay, so how does Putin feel about BRICS? Good. China, working very closely with China. He's happy. He's like, thank you, Biden. Yeah, he's happy with it. He feels like BRICS has momentum. Trump being in office, it does feel like a setback for him. But he's saying that no, it's good. And he really loves the close relationship that he's having with China. It feels good. Let me ask, how does Putin feel about the European Union? I remember this video because I'm seeing the card that I got for him in that video. How does Putin feel about the European Union? It's like, you bitches are broke. How does Putin feel about Canada? Interesting. What about UK? And what about the US? He hates the European Union. He's like, you bitches is broke, man. You're broke. Conflicted, fighting, all this stuff. Like the one in his reading, and I'll link it somewhere when I post this on YouTube. I got death for him in the European Union, because I think people were asking if he wanted to join. He's like, hell fucking no, I don't want to join, because this union is not meant to last. It's not meant to last. I asked him, how does he feel about Canada? Strong ties. I don't think that this is going to happen with Trudeau in office. I thought he was stepping down. I don't think this is going to happen with Trudeau in office. Maybe someone who comes in after him. Strong ties. Strong ties, good deals, all this stuff. I asked about the UK. He's looking forward to having peace with the UK eventually. I asked about the US, and he's just like, fucking Trump. The way he feels about the US, it actually feels lukewarm compared to Canada and the UK, because he's just like, fucking Trump is here, man. Freaking Trump is here, dude. He's like, Trump is here. Listen, I mean, I know American media, European media, like Trump and Putin, they're friends. Russiagate, blah, 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 blah. Russiagate was debunked years ago. Russiagate, all this stuff. He doesn't like Trump. He doesn't like him. It doesn't feel like they're working together. Ooh, I'm asking you about his health. He doesn't like me asking that question. Okay, all right. I'll respect that. He doesn't like me asking that question. Look at him. Look at him. He's keeping me out of it. I already got the tea on you, buddy. 2 years ago. I already know. 3 years ago. I already know, buddy. Putin, are you going to stay in office as president of Russia? Yes. I don't know for how long though. I don't know for how long. I don't know for how long he's going to stay, but he's just like, yeah, I am. I'm going to stay. How does Trump feel about Putin? Did I already ask this? How does Trump feel about Putin? Yeah, they're complicated together. It's not all sunshines and rainbows with these two. It's not. They're kind of like, I hate to use this term, but they're kind of like alpha males. Putin feels stronger than Trump does. They clash, they butt heads often. They're not best buds. They don't necessarily feel like rivals either, but they're not best buds. And even Trump, he's just like right now, he actually really does want to end these wars. He does want to end them. He doesn't like it. He actually is, I mean, despite his rhetoric and his art, he actually is like peacetime. That's because for him, he's just like, having war screws up the economy. Because for him, he feels like the money that you make from selling weapons, it doesn't make up for having peaceful, prosperous nations. It doesn't make up for it. So he really does want to end this war, but he's sort of like, why is Putin not cooperating right now? So they're not best buds. I have to repeat this. It's giving enemies to lovers. Can you imagine how pissy Trump would be if Russia and Canada get close? Yeah, yeah. Is BRICS going to use Ripple, XRP, their currency, or gold? Trump said he wants to audit the gold reserve in America and create a crypto reserve randomly once in office. Is BRICS going to use... So is Ripple / XRP, is that the same thing, or are those two different things? I'm just going to ask Ripple. Is BRICS going to use Ripple as their currency? I'm getting a yes on that. Or are they going to use gold? Oh, government backing. Government backing. So I'm getting yes on Ripple. Backed by gold. Does that mean anything? I don't know anything about cryptocurrency. Besides, I have been predicting that what was that thing with that guy and his girlfriend, and they were basically scamming, and I was just like, there's a Ponzi scheme going on here with a couple, and they're going to be outed in a year. I predicted that shit a year before. I don't know what Ripple is, but I'm getting yes. I don't know what Ripple is. I'm getting a yes. But it's still going to be backed by gold. FSB, Sam Bankman-Friedman, something like that. I predicted that a year before it happened, but I predicted it in private paid readings. Okay. Will Trump audit the gold reserve in America? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. And again, I know people hate it when I say even remotely positive stuff about him. Excuse me. He's saying yes because he wants a strong government. Like, he wants to see all this information. In his mind, this is all for the benefit of the US. It's all for the benefit of the US. In his mind. Okay, let's move on. Okay, Emmanuel. Ma présidente. Emmanuel Macron, what's going on with your energy right now? Trump is going on with his energy right now. You know what? He and Trump actually get along very well. They're very similar people, by the way. I remember saying this on a forum, and people were so mad at me I'm just like, they're very similar people. Like, you don't even have to me, you don't have to be a psychic. You can just see by how they interact with each other. They're very similar. Let me see. Manuel, how do you feel about Trump? He's actually happy that Biden's gone. He's actually happy that Biden's gone. Trump, how do you feel about Emmanuel? This is positive. I know you guys did not believe me when I said that more people actually like Trump than folks think. And that a lot of these world leaders, I am going to ask the anti-American question. A lot of these world leaders do not hate him like people think they do. So Emmanuel is just like, I'm just happy Trump or Biden's gone. I'm happy Biden's gone. And Trump is like, oh yeah, no, I like him. We fight each other from time to time, but I like him. They have very similar energy. Very similar energy. They come out the same way. Okay. Emmanuel feels happy. I don't know if that's good or bad. So let's ask these questions. I laughed when you read that Biden voted for Trump. Let's ask these questions. Manuel, you gonna raise taxes? Yes. The fucker. Sorry. Yeah, he's gonna raise taxes. Yep. He's gonna raise taxes. All right, let's ask these other questions. Oops. Have the French soft power softened in French Caribbean? Is this about the French Caribbean? Is this about taxes? Yeah, it's about taxes. Oh, interesting. Yeah, this country's broke. Like, despite the money that they're taking from African nations and other former colonies and whatever, it's broke. He's just like, where's the money going to come from? Again, look at this. Here's the money. Look at this. It's just like, where is it coming from? Where are we going to get it from? People fighting, European Union fighting over money. And they're just like, we're just going to have to tax our citizens. Okay. Have the French soft power softened in French Caribbean? No. Sorry. No. What they're saying is that France is worried that it has, but realistically, no, it hasn't. And it feels like even if there is a bit of negative sentiment, it's something that they can easily work back to being positive. Being positive. So if it's softened, it's not by much. They can get it back. Okay. Will the colonial tax end for African nations? Will colonial, and I'm asking about France right now. Will French colonial taxes end for African nations? Interesting. I feel like that's why. So they're not actually giving me a direct answer, but kind of what they're saying is that that's partially why African nations are becoming closer with Russia, is to kind of defend them against this. And a lot of these nations are thinking that we'll be better off with Russia instead. They're not giving me an answer on that. Will French colonial taxes? Interesting. So I asked it a couple of different ways. It's like something can be worked out. Something can be worked out. Like an end date can be worked out. I don't get how they in Italy are broke when they have tourism plus luxury goods. That must be karma, because the citizens are not in general, the citizens are not buying these luxury goods. It's like a lot of Chinese people, American people, all this stuff. And they have very low salaries. And because of the tax burden, I think I was talking about this with a friend like last week. At least this is just what I know in France. Under a certain threshold, you don't have to pay taxes, but the majority of the citizens make under that threshold. So they don't have as much. They don't have as much money, and they do pay. At least in France, they do pay a lot in social services. That's why I'm just like, if the U.S. stops aid, some of these Western European nations are going to be in trouble because, you know. Anyway, so for the colonial tax, what I'm getting is that yes, eventually, this will end for African nations, but it feels like they work out an end date. Like it feels like a lot of money is going to be paid out in order to make it end. That's what it feels like to me. Let me double check to make sure I got that right. Maybe it's too many countries I'm asking about, because I'm also seeing that some of them, no, it's not going to end. Some of them is not going to end. But for others, it's like an end date can be worked out. It's almost like when you pay a loan, quote unquote, too early, and you pay that early termination fee. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting for some of these nations. Some. Sort of like what happened to Haiti. Although what happened to Haiti was bullshit, but it's kind of what happened to Haiti. Is it going to be like what happened to Haiti for some of these African nations? Kind of. But what they're seeing is that the African nations, they're actually going to fight back a little bit harder. Because Russia has something to do with this as well, because it feels like some of these nations are going to have closer ties with Russia, and they feel like, okay, we have someone else backing us, therefore we have like more latitude, more room or whatever to push back against some of this stuff. That's what it feels like to me. So Africa will still be in debt? Yeah. For a while. Yeah. Yep. So let's ask about Africa. So this is kind of related to West Africa. Is France soft power basically done in West Africa? No, it's not done. It's not done. They're funding secret wars. France. They're funding secret wars. Yes, Spirit is saying, I don't know if that relates to the question, but they're saying France is funding secret wars. That's part of the soft power? Is that part of the soft? I mean, technically that's not the definition of soft power, but is that part of the soft power? Huh. Ugh. Yikes. Yo, France does not want to let Africa go. I see what it is. They're funding secret wars. Let me see if I'm working this out correctly. They're funding secret wars, and then they offer a solution for peace to keep the power within Western Africa. Is that it? Is that it? Oh, here's Russia again. Here's Russia and the US again. Okay, all this stuff is bleeding together. Here's Russia. Here's Russia and the US again. Of course they don't with their broke ass. Yeah, so definitely what Spirit is saying, that France is funding secret wars, but it also feels like in a weird way they offer a solution for peace, and that's kind of a way to keep the cycle going of the power in West Africa. And then here, when I ask, okay, so is it done? They're just like, no, it's not. France is not letting Africa go. They're not. And it's like they're creating division, creating confusion as well, to make sure that they keep their hands in the pot with their broke ass. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from that. Burkina Faso improved since France left. They want to talk about Russia and the US again. A deal is going to be made between Russia and US. Look at this. Actually, Russia and US, when it comes to this Ukraine stuff, they're fighting over money. They're fighting over money, resources, blah, 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 the same thing. All right, thank you guys. Thank you, Spirit. Will Burkina Faso improve since France left? Not necessarily. Interesting. Not necessarily, but it's more because it feels like there's no clear direction here. There's no clear direction here. And it also feels like someone, or maybe this is a group of people, they're thinking a bit selfishly. And then it also feels like there's someone or a group of people who they kind of want to return to working with France, whatever with France. I'm not really seeing an official like a partnership. I'm not really seeing that with France again, but it feels like there's someone or a group of people who are just like, well, maybe we shouldn't have left. Let me ask it a different way. I see what it's the infighting. It's the infighting. Eek, 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 eek. So people feel quite happy. This gives me win the battle but not the war vibes, unfortunately. People feel quite happy. They feel optimistic. They're just like, yeah, we can start over again. We can do things the way that we want to do it. Infighting starts. The infighting starts. And then again here, someone's selfish. Someone or a group of people are selfish. And then here comes Perry. And then here, things break down. It breaks down. But it feels like it's mostly because the direction is not there. If there was a clear direction or maybe like a clear leader, it would have been better. Will we ever see a mass deportation in Africa against foreigners, Chinese, Arabs, Dutch, etc.? Yes, it was Burkina Faso. Y'all, look at Perry. He's just like, ma'am. He's so cute. He's so big. Let's see, what time is it? Okay. Will there ever be mass deportation in Africa against foreigners? Yes, actually, yes. Yes, there will be. But this feels more like people are willingly leaving though. So deportation, me-portation, I don't know. It feels more like people are leaving. They're leaving. And again, look, leaving. They're leaving of their own accord. I don't think Chinese people are leaving. Huh, a lot of Dutch people. A lot of Dutch people. Money. Money, 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 money. Money. Better opportunities elsewhere. So no, it doesn't feel like a deportation, just a mass migration. Will African nations be colonized by Russia? Will African nations be colonized by Russia? No. No. It does look like, though, that in some nations, the partnership with Russia, there are some strings attached that maybe some of the leaders didn't realize it was attached. But call it colonization? No, I don't. No, I don't see it. Not colonization. Maybe some dodgy practices here and there, but not colonization. Okay. I think that is it. Now it's going to be UK. Let's get back in the zone. Let's look at the energy of the United Kingdom, the different parts. So the overall energy of the United Kingdom, what is it? England, surprise, Wales, Scotland, Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland. Eek. Yikes. So the overall energy of the United Kingdom, it's so-so. It's very so-so. It's not overly bad. It's not, entirely positive. It just feels like things are up and down. And the feeling that I'm getting is rob Peter to pay Paul. This is what I'm getting from the United Kingdom. I asked about England. Surprise, surprise. England feels like it's maybe the worst or the second worst out of the United Kingdom. Asked about England, is not doing the best. A lot of people are feeling very emotional in England. People are feeling like they're being cheated, similar to like the overall feeling in the European Union. There's that. And then Wales, it's okay. it's all right. It's fine. Feels like Wales feels like they're cut off from a lot of what's happening within the United Kingdom, even though they're there. What did I say after that? Did I say Scotland after that? Yeah, Scotland is all right. I feel like for them, they think that things aren't really going their way either. But if like the feeling that I'm getting from Scotland is we make do. Is that a popular saying in Scotland? We make do, or we can make do. That's what I'm hearing. Republic of Ireland, beautiful. Beautiful. Their energy feels great. Out of all the parts of the United Kingdom, Republic of Ireland feels the best. From what I understand, tech companies are setting up their headquarters in Ireland because of the tax situation, but it feels like because of all this new technology, this is also a Uranus energy as well, that they're doing fine for the most part, which is probably why when I was asking about Ireland potentially leaving the European Union, they're just like, no, we don't really see it. Northern Ireland, they're struggling out here. They need a lot of money. They're struggling. Well, Scottish people do put their nose to the ground. Yeah, I was hearing we'll make do. That's what I was hearing from Scotland. This is not as bad as some of the EU countries that we looked at earlier. Yeah, Republic of Ireland is getting lots of FDI. What's FDI? Federal dollars? Okay, so that's just the overall energy of the United Kingdom. I don't know why I have this question up there so soon, but you asked, is it a good idea for Americans to move to the UK like they have been planning to? This is just an overall thing. Is it a good idea for Americans to move to the United Kingdom? I think many Americans, and I mean, this is true of any time, many Americans who do move to the United Kingdom, they will feel like they're at home. They will feel like they're at home, but they will start to feel this feeling of, wow, I'm being so fucking cheated. I'm being like what is happening? And I mean, I understand what's happening in France, but what's happening in like all these other European nations? Because it's just this feeling of like someone's taking something from me. I'm being cheated. I'm not getting what I feel like I'm worth. I'm not getting what I deserve. The work that I put into this stuff, I'm not being paid correctly. Like that's the feeling that I get. But in terms of emotions, I feel like a lot of Americans who plan to move to the United Kingdom because of the politics that are happening in the US, they will feel like emotionally fulfilled. But in terms of everything else, no. Because even here, they're just like, there's not enough money there for Americans and they're going to go back home. They're like, we're going to go back home. So, I mean, it's good for the experience. It's good to see that, you know, I think someone wrote it earlier, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. It's good for them to see that. But a lot will return to the US. They'll return because of the money situation. How is the UK feeling about leaving the EU now? In general, how does the well, it wasn't all of the United Kingdom because Ireland is still there, right? Was it just England? Okay, Ireland is. Okay, so I'll finagle the question. How does the United Kingdom feel? Here goes Trump. Here goes Trump. Here goes Trump. Trump is going to try some shit with the UK soon if he hasn't already. He's going to try some stuff. How does interesting. The feeling that the United Kingdom as a whole is having now is that yes, times are bad now, but they still feel optimistic that things will stabilize over time. It'll stabilize over time. They still feel like it was a good decision. I'm not getting regret from it. They still feel like it was a good decision to leave the European Union, but the feeling I'm getting is the way that they left it. They feel like the United Kingdom, they feel like maybe we could have slowed down, maybe we could have been more meticulous about the terms. Like it feels like, no, leaving was good, but the way we left was kind of stupid. Kind of stupid. It was rushed. Wasn't that Boris Johnson? Where they were like, we're going to have like a hard leave or a soft leave. I'm hearing that. Wasn't it Boris Johnson who said that stupid shit? But they're saying that we did it too quickly, or we rushed the job. We rushed the job. And it's like they also didn't anticipate this stuff with NATO here. So, I mean, this is the US card, but this is also like US is NATO. They didn't anticipate the stuff with NATO. So it also feels like they should have, it's like they are having regrets, but it's more like the method of how they did things and the fact that they didn't take all this stuff into consideration. So if they were to do it again, they would say, okay, so this is what happens with NATO, da 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 da. Hold on, let's see. United Kingdom is not happy with NATO. Y'all hear this, cat? The United Kingdom is not happy with NATO. I'm not getting that they want to leave or anything, but it does feel like if they were to do Brexit all over again, they would have tried to renegotiate stuff with NATO as well. Not necessarily leave NATO, but just like maybe we don't want to be beholden for a lot of things in NATO as well. That's something I should have asked about the European Union, how they feel about NATO, but it's late. I don't feel like backtracking. Okay. Okay. Will the NSH be decimated? Yes. Yes. Yep. It will be. It will be. It is an ardent wish for the NHS to be decimated. Can you give timing on this? Timing on the NHS? NHS. Can you give timing on this? Somewhere between 2 and 5 years. If the UK is on the same track, somewhere between 2 and 5 years. 2 and 5 years. Look at all the money. Look at all the money that's leaving NHS. NSH. I keep saying NSH, NHS. Yeah, the answer is yes, unfortunately. What will take its, will anything take its place? Yes. What will take its place? On one hand, I'm seeing like a lot of women getting into like the medical profession. Sometimes when I see this type of energy, it's like doulas. Well, that's a personal question. Sometimes when I see this energy, it's like doulas, medicine women, like sort of alternative type of healing. Sometimes like I see that, so like that's going to be part of it. There are going to be people on the side who will offer these services. But I also feel like the more male, masculine way of doing health will. Hey! I feel like the more masculine way of doing health will take over. Because I see this. Yeah, the more masculine way of doing health will eventually take over. Whatever that means for you. Will there be another cabinet reshuffle for the UK? Yeah, but you know what they're saying is that even if there's a cabinet reshuffle, it's going to be more of the same. It's going to be more of the same. Will a change happen to the UK civil service? It feels like change is going to be attempted, but people won't agree on what the change is, and then that's going to be abandoned. Will India still be a strong partner for the UK? Oh, here comes Trump. Trump is going to do something with the UK. Look at this. This is the second time he's showing up this way. Second time. He's a disruptor. That's what his role in life is. For good or bad, this is what he does. If something, whatever establishment that's working, or maybe it's not working, he's here to disrupt the shit. Like he's here to shake things up. That is his role. Just think of him as a character in a play. He's a wrecking ball. He's going to do something in the UK. Is this about Ukraine again? Department of Education. Department of Education. Yeah, it's the Department of Education. He's going to find sneaky ways. I don't think, so sorry, I'm jumping back to the US. I don't think that they're going to completely demolish or destroy the Department of Education, but there are going to be ways that they chip away from it. They're going to chip away at it. And I remember when I asked that question the first time, I was like, some of this is going to have to deal with the immigration status of some students, that some rules are going to be changed in order to get rid of them or deport them. And it sounds bad, but they want to go after, they want to figure out the children so that when they have an order to deport the children, the entire family leaves with them. Like, that's the plan. But this is the Department of Education. Like, that's what he's a disruptor. That's what Spirit is saying. This is his job. It's his job. And what people do after he disrupts things, that's up to the people. Oh, I got chills saying that. I got chills. Okay, let's go back to the UK. I'm not going to be on here for long because I have to go to sleep. Oh, okay. Will India still be a strong partner for the UK? Yes. Yes, actually. Yeah, it feels really good. Yes, they will. They'll still be a strong partner. It feels good. The partnership will actually be strengthened with new trade deals. It's good. Okay. So I'm going to answer these questions very quickly. Will the UK Chancellor leave her position? Soon is very broad. So I'm going to say this year, 2025, will UK Chancellor leave her position 2025? No, I'm not necessarily seeing 2025. Yeah, I'm not seeing it so far. Things can change though, because I do feel fluctuation with UK politics. How is the Labour Party with Keir as Prime Minister? Interesting. Right now, Labor feels good. In the near future, right now, they actually feel pretty good. And they feel really hopeful for the future. However, in the future, there may be a decision that Keir makes that people like, they're sort of like, what is going on? They may call for Keir's resignation. I'm not sure if Keir's going to resign over it. Yeah, I'm not really sure that that Keir is going to resign, but here's the energy for Keir at a later date. Here's the energy there. People are frustrated, feeling blocked. Here's more of the energy here. Like right now, they feel pretty good, but in the near future, boom, nope. But again, it feels like for the UK right now, it doesn't really matter who's prime minister, whose government is the main or the shadow or the whatever. It just feels like more of the same. I think I remember saying years ago that the UK is going to go through some strife for like years to come. Like eventually things get better, but for years there's going to be strife. Will King Charles have power in UK-US relations? Is your orange cat a tabby? Yeah. Will King Charles have power in US-UK relations? Yes, actually. Yes. Trump respects Charles, and Charles will like talk sense into him. Yes, he will. Charles will talk sense into him. Absolutely. They get along. Will Keir reverse Brexit? No. That's not happening. People want him to. Or, yeah, people... Is Keir a man? It feels like some people want it, but I'm getting no, not really. It's not reversible. Let me ask this question. No. I asked, will the UK rejoin the European Union? And I do feel the sentiment of we shouldn't have left, we shouldn't have did this, we shouldn't have done that, da, 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 da. But because things eventually get better, they're just like, no, we made the right decision. Even now, it feels like most of the leaders feel like we made the right decision, but just the way that we left, it wasn't smart. It wasn't smart. It didn't take a lot of things into consideration. Growing there, will it grow there and overseas? Yeah, I mean, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Will anti-American sentiment grow in Canada? Trump. Ooh, Trump is mad about these court decisions. Will anti-American sentiment grow in Canada? Yeah. Interesting. So yes for Canada. Yes for Canada. But you know, I mean, just feeling patriotic. And to me, there's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with feeling proud of where you're from and what you guys accomplished and your reputation, blah, 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 whatever. It's not necessarily anti-American, it's just Canadian patriotism. I don't use terms like nationalism, but it feels more like Canadian patriotism. As for, because I asked about Europe, like it feels like there's going to be a swell of anti-American sentiment, but over time, no, not really. No, not really. People's minds start to change. So I specifically asked about Europe, but they're just saying no over the world. But specifically for Europe, people's minds start to change. What's the no for? People's minds start to change. Their minds change. Over time, their minds change. And I already said that people are going to be moving to the US. Look, it's showing up again here. So there's a swell of anti-American sentiment, and then over time it's just like, well, maybe there's a point to it, da 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 da, and then people start to feel like, oh, well, I don't know, like they don't make a commitment to it, and then eventually it stops, and then people are just like, well, maybe I'll just go to the US, maybe I'll go over there. So, yeah, there's a swell, and then it goes away. Canada, yeah. Yes. Remember, guys, for your personal readings, go to www.tarotbymocha.com. I actually added a same day option, and some of you guys actually are using the same day option. I decided that I'm going to keep it. Yeah, so I have the same day offerings for all of the readings, including the live readings, and people have been using them, and most of you have been respecting the cutoff time. So I decided to keep it. It's working pretty well. So, but only use the same day option if it's actually an emergency, because sometimes people, like, they feel distressed, so then they buy a same day reading and it's not necessary. I can just read it the next day. And usually with that, like, I refund people and I read them the next day because the same day fee actually is quite expensive. So yeah, www.tarotbymocha.com. I still have the New Year's readings up there. They're going to go away on April 1st. If you get the New Year's reading, I'm going to read from the day you purchase until the next year. It's not going to start at the beginning of 2025. What else? Like, I don't know what else. Yeah, I have yearly readings up there, 6-month readings up there. Unfortunately, a lot of people have been buying my depression readings. I wish that wasn't the case, but people have been purchasing it. A lot of people have been purchasing the no contact reading as well, which makes sense because it's Venus retrograde, and pretty soon Mercury retrograde is going to happen starting the end of next week, unfortunately. Yeah, so it's there. I'm still on Etsy as well. What else? I think that's it. All right, I'll see you guys next week for the full moon chat. But next week, I think I'm only going to be on here for an hour. because next week is like full of reading, so I can't do too much. When I have readings due in the same week, I don't feel comfortable doing too much of the free readings because people who pay start to feel like, well, what did I pay for? All right, guys, I'll see you next week, full moon. Bye. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, then please head over to www.tarobyMoko.com/links in the description box below. This page was created to help you find your desired reading faster. They are separated by concern, so there's love and romance, career matters, psychic forecast, and spiritual and personal development. And if you have many concerns at once, then please feel free to book a live 30-minute or 1-hour reading via phone, video, or in person if we are located in the same city. You will also be able to find a link to my Etsy store that has a limited range of readings, as well as my blog and YouTube page. And for YouTube viewers, if you would like to offer a small tip, then you have that option as well. When you are ready to book a reading, then click on the desired icon and read through the description to make sure that it fits your concern. I return readings within 7 business days, but if your concern is urgent, then I have express options that allow you to choose how quickly you want your reading to be done. If you want to book a 30-minute or 1-hour reading for the next day, then please email me ahead of time. And if you have any questions, then don't hesitate to email me. If you would like to know more information about my style and why I read the way I do, then go to the homepage where you will find a quick description about me and an option to learn more. And if you scroll further down, you will be able to sign up for my monthly newsletter. With this newsletter, you will receive 10% off your first reading, as well as monthly general predictions and shop updates, which can include discounts for new spreads and early access to my yearly readings 1 month ahead of time. And even further down, you will find testimonials from all of the clients who are happy with me. All right, lovelies, thank you so much for watching this video. Let's work together soon.